So this is the Simpit. I'm Michi Hoyer, and on the other side there should be Shaun Cole, who's gone in the at the minute. But massive sorry, really, to you guys. We completely mixed that up. Like for some reason we had some kind of weird change in our restream software that meant the directions going weird at the background of the OBS. But anyway, this is the Simpit. We're live. We're gonna have another session of testing here in the Raw before 24 around Daytona Road Course. Sitting there on the Daytona International Speedway, and finally, after that did not work too well yesterday, I'm spotting here for Shaun Cole, who is back on his way to the seat. I can hear. So there you go. There is Shaun Cole. Hello, Shaun. Hey Shaun, how are you doing? Well, I'm fine now, since I know that this technical trouble and the technical issues finally have been fixed. So once again, very sorry to the inconvenience there. Being in a total different place at a total different time for a total stupid reason, but that's life stuff. So we're gonna deal with it, and we're gonna make out the best of it now. So, hey Shaun, you ready there?
Yes, what?
Oh, that's great. So Shaun is ready as well. And I think if the crowd is ready, we can actually go and start with our program. So Shaun, yesterday you had some very interesting racing session going on there. So what was the feedback you were getting from the car, getting from the setup over the long run? Is there anything you felt like being not happy with yesterday in the long run there?
On the long run, we started to pick up just a hint of understeer on entry.
Okay.
So my braking zones needed to be a little bit longer because I wasn't getting as good a turn in. And that's really the only complaint. The rear end actually seemed to get no worse at all. Maybe even get better as it got lighter. But the front end, yeah, grip. That was the only complaint. Was about halfway through the fuel run, I noticed that I was starting to lose the front tires just a little bit, and that was making it later entry into every corner.
So that's good to know. So here would be my approach. Do you need to get some like 2 or 3 laps in to get warm with driving?
Probably.
Yeah, so you better do that, and then I'm gonna suggest you a setup change. And then we are going to work this out together. So being a spotter for you, will I actually be able to see your split times right now?
I believe so.
So let me check this then.
I still haven't decided if I like... Oh, and people are telling me I need to shift way earlier in this car, like there.
Oh, I'm sorry, I have no clue about that. That would be probably something you would need to have a look at Motec. So remember to press on that Motec telemetry file next time around we go with a changed setup, so we can evaluate on the change.
Copy that. I just turned on telemetry for this. I guess we don't need it for my warm-up though, huh?
Not really, as my graphical card driver has just reset himself. Thank you very much. That scared me like a bit. Yeah, Michael, Shaun will be a little more distant because it's the microphone he's wearing on his headset there is actually not the microphone that's being active while speaking, since the microphone he is speaking on is like right there, really very far away. But this is for better for you to understand him, since the other headphone is a little bit unclear. as William Martinez, also known as El Buco here in the stream, has joined us also on the chat and on the track. So if you guys want to join in, Shaun created a channel, or not a channel, a server, and it's called Simpit Testing for the Raw Before 24. Well, that's open to everyone actually here. So there you go. I can really see and feel the understeer of Shaun being an issue there. Yes, exactly, Michael. The sound comes from the Blue Yeti mic on the side. So guys, if you have any kind of wishes, anything you want to know, anything I can
shifting early enough.
Ask Shaun, feel free to do so. While being warm up, I can easily pass over some questions there. I'm not sure if others are right. Focus on the shifting now for the back straight. As I still not sure whether I can set anything here while being an engineer.
Oh, that was me.
Did you miss the braking, or did you just fail to hit the brakes right?
I didn't hit him hard enough.
Yes, Falcon, we got the spotting thing worked for today. However, I'm still missing lap time information if that's somehow available. That would be great if someone can help me on getting split times up anywhere. So if you guys have an idea how to fix this and how I could get Shaun splits to my visualization so I can see the times and don't need to ask for deltas, that would be great. Hey Rhinus, thanks for joining us, thanks for the good luck wishes. Currently Shaun is getting warmed up for the next few tasks I'm gonna give him. As I quickly get my calculator on here. Oh, this is the small one though. I'll probably need the other one. And this is back then, and you guys will like this, American Technic. So it's from Texas Instruments. A very high and highly experienced and really expensive calculator, I think. But it has a big screen, so I can type in pretty big formulas, and I can really work hard on.
To rev it out, it's when the car starts sounding really cool.
It's really given me some good opportunity to calculate. Well, Shaun, I assume you've never run a V6 Formula 1 car?
No.
Because you have to shift them like at 85% of the max revs. The big one could be a good idea, however, the stopwatch is being a little bit inaccurate when it comes down to measuring in tenth and whatever. So, yeah, this is probably some sort of a dead end. Yeah, actually right, Dennis. Those Texas Instruments calculators are built in China.
What?
I was getting on the calculator for today's session, and because it was called Texas Instrument and it looked quite American, I thought it was built in America, and I was wrong.
No.
I was very, very wrong.
Yeah, we don't make anything.
Alright, go again over the finish line and park the car after turn 1. Go full throttle until there.
All the way through turn 1?
Yeah, just park the car short before the pit exit. Yeah, Michael, that's actually the idea of the stream, having me punishing him when he does bad driving, and obviously he should be able to do better driving as well. That was too early. Anyway, I think.
Oh, you want top speed? I'm sorry.
Yeah. However, I think that guy that told you about the shifting was right, because I think compared to yesterday you were reaching 1 kph more even on the approach towards the bus stop chicane as well as on the approach to turn 1. So I think that was a right call, and it just put a as good lap time as it did yesterday in the testing. So that's not a bad start anyway.
And this is the exact weather we were testing on yesterday as well.
Yeah, it has 30 degrees again. So is it me that is now able to work on your setup? Is that right?
I don't know. Yes.
See if I can change something.
I'm in the garage right now, it says. I can't see it, but it shows, like, I can't go on track.
Alright.
That's badass.
Wait. So the bump stiffness. Rebound, that is okay. Let's see. The fuck? Sorry.
No worries.
The setting is just giving me a hard time. So the bump stiffness, how stiff the shock damper is while being compressed. Can alter after handling in transient maneuvers. So rolling into more front bump stiffness is a tighter under braking and turning, and more rear bump stiffness is tighter under acceleration. What means tight there in that context?
Tight is
more difficult
understeer.
to handle. Tight is understeer. Okay.
Yeah.
So the more front bump stiffness, the tighter under braking and turning, and more rear bump stiffness is tighter under acceleration. So we don't want to have that. However, if it is the case, what I believe it is, then it's the front being as soft as possible already.
Except for the ARB. I think I can't look at it.
Yeah. Wait, before that.
And I did continue to make improvements on bringing the gas in earlier on 2, 4, and 5. So that was also another improvement since
That's good.
That was last night.
Alright, so we keep that, and I changed the ARB arm to medium. That should give you a more soft suspension there, and apply that, and that's done. So you can go driving again and see. We just do 3 or 4 laps to see whether it changes.
Telemetry?
Yes.
Telemetry on.
Alright, then I'll leave you now. Task is for the in lap and the first time lap to get feel with the car. And tell me the difference afterwards.
Okay, copy.
So we now did some changes to the ARB, which actually makes the car more rolling to the left and right when going through turns. With that being said, that means that the suspension is absorbing more turning energy of the car, which therefore should make the car more turning. And that should fix the understeer problem Shaun was encountering there. So we quickly have a look whether he did feel any improvement with that. If you can do me a favor and get closer to the car ahead, so we enter the draft in 0.7 after the bus stop, yeah.
Copy. Auto rev. Point 6, 0.5. Is that too close? 4.
No, that's perfect. That's just what we want. So this is gonna be the situation where you can park your car probably right beside him on the start of the braking point.
Like that?
Exactly like that. So the perfect gap out of the bus stop chicane to pull up a move is 0.6 to 0.5, somewhere around that. Interestingly, yesterday we were running in the slipstream at the same car with a little bit further back. However, we reached more top speed. I'm not sure why this is just. I mean, you reached 241 now, and I think yesterday you reached 243. Let me check. Yeah, 242 you reached yesterday, and now you were in the full bloody stream, you know. ARB, try pressing P. Where? Where shall I try pressing the P button?
Shift.
Sorry. Probably need to do a little bit of googling. Alright, focus on lap time for now. Is there a reason why you hit the brakes before bus stop before you actually hit the brakes?
I don't know. I hit it twice.
Yeah, to me it feels like, or I say you hit the brakes, lift off the brakes and hit the brakes again.
Not sure. Not on purpose. You mean between the corners? Or in initial braking?
On the initial braking.
Ah, shit.
You did it here too, I think. However, I think you did personal best last time around already due to the draft.
Can you see my brake and my gas pressure? Or are you going by what you're...
No, I'm just going by judging.
Oh shit. I'm thinking, not driving.
Ah, there you go. I already can see lap timing. Oops. And I pressed Alt F4. Me stupid idiot. Sorry. So don't talk to you and adjust the LCD. That's an important note for myself there. So I quite...
Ube is getting a draft on me.
Nah, too bad, and I'm not watching. Oh, wait. I think that went wrong. No, stop it.
Why'd you make me think about my braking?
Again? Ah, yeah, because you put on the pressure now. Damn, I just selected the wrong guy. Already registered. Session joined. So maybe I was still right and didn't know. So that happens when you go live. I just need to see now. Input adjustment, in car adjustments, mirror adjust, keyboard shortcuts. If anyone knows how to start spotting lap, so delta times and everything, can just check the standings, the fuel load. Click to become crew chief. I'm still not able to see. So when being in the overlay, I actually managed to have access to the LCD box.
Nice.
But I haven't managed to get access to the splits yet. Oh, that's great news, blowing smoke. Appreciate that.
Shit. Ah, sloppy. Sorry.
No worries. That's fine.
If you hit P, does it bring up my pedals? P as in Paul?
Nope.
Too bad.
Maybe I can set controls and see it. I'm still flying a little bit blind, and if someone could help me there, that would be great.
I feel like I'm overdriving now.
7
Need to
F10
settle it down.
flag box that is assigned. Radio display frame. No, Michael. Shaun said I should press the button P, like a P, Paul. So it just... Alright. Forget about the chat that's happening there. I'm testing buttons. Nah. This simply doesn't work.
I'm not driving well. Come on, Cole.
Rhinos, this race is going to happen on Saturday. 6 p.m. GMT, so that will be 10 a.m. It's gonna be the race is 38 minutes by the time on Saturday at this point.
I'm starting to like this car though.
You're doing very well as well. How's the balance anyway?
Feels pretty good. At first I thought it was an improvement, and now it's not a whole lot different, it seems.
So still room for improvement there.
Yes, for sure.
So as this lap is for trash now, I think, isn't it? Due to that car. Is that lap for trash?
Yes.
Yeah, then stop it. We're gonna even more, gonna go even more aggressive on the set then. Right, so with me now being in your setup again, let me see what this does. Reload adjustment allows for quick changes to the twisting load. The anti-roll bar sees in the garage as inspection. It's best to adjust this value close to 0 after making changes to the car. It's not going close to 0 anyway. Yeah, it is. Bit more camber setting maybe. Bit more right height in the back. Get a little more aggressive on the camber. Put these changes back to 0. Oh, like the car is working a very lot still. Alright. That has passed. Give this one a shot.
Okay, ready?
Oh wait, I just got the... Yeah, just try it and we go slowly work to it. Oh, keep going. It's just my cat trolling at the window.
Hello?
Sorry guys, but as usual, it's the four-footed animal that's sitting in front of the mosquito fence.
If you want me to mute them, I can.
No worries, it was just the cat sitting at the window. Again. Right, so get in your driving, do 2 or 3 corners, tell me about the balance.
Can you say that again, Michi?
Yeah, get used to the driving again. Get known to the balance, give feedback on it as soon as you are able to give some.
Okay.
For crying out loud. If you leave the cat unobserved for a split second, it just goes worse. Michael, what do you mean by tight? If you mean more understeery, it should be the opposite. The opposite should be the case.
I feel like I have a little more drive off the corner.
A little more turning off the corner.
Coming off the corner, I feel like I can be just a hair more aggressive. Like I got a little more grip in the rear than I had before.
Nah.
No?
Well, it's not supposed to do that. It's good if it does.
Maybe it's just me then.
You're definitely going, hit the brakes, go off the brakes, and then hit the brakes again for the corner. That's what you do on the approach to bus stop. I closely monitored the speed, and it jumps from 228 to 226 before it stays there for a split second before it goes down to with the braking. So stop doing this.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Why?
I'm not doing that.
You didn't do it for turn 1. Good catch there.
Thank you.
Yeah, Jason, it takes quite some time to get into the gear, so Shaun, do you have any clutch or auto blip on?
I have auto clutch on.
I see. Could have gone a little bit early on the accelerator there. Same here. I know that the car was sliding a bit, but if you go in there less aggressive, you can roar out with more pace. By the way, you scored a 203.7.
Copy. Ah.
So what I'm doing now is note again what is the top speed of Shaun at the end of the main straight. That's good, so the setup actually did not... that was close to a perfect turn 1. Did not affect his driving. I'm gonna give you a vote for going on the gas again. Now. And remember to do it softly. I'm giving a call for turn 4. Now. Bit too aggressive. Try to make it more smooth in 5. Now. Great stuff. That was close to being perfect.
Thank you.
By the way, I'm impressed. You're hitting your apexes.
2018, baby.
There you go. That's gonna hurt your lap time. So you approach 2.5 kph quicker because of the draft. Let's see what the bad line though costed. Last lap was another personal best with a 203.6. Focus on the shift. Go wide on the outside. And now. Close to being perfect. Really close there. Is Shaun lifting in that left-hand turn 3, King? That little tiny right-hander, left-hander. Is he lifting there? Is it just me, or is he lifting there? I don't know whether this car does some weird sound, but to me it seems he's lifting. This was perfect. This was just good. And to me, for that bus stop, he's hitting the brakes, releasing the brakes, and hitting the brakes again. I don't know, is it just me, or is he doing it? Thank you very much there, blowing smoke. That's exactly what we try doing here. So from the lap, this was a considerably clean lap. It's not a personal best though. Hitting a new top speed value. Great turn 1. Still a good hairpin, because you carried all the speed. And keep your throttle pinned to the floor on the left hand kink now. Stay full throttle, stay full throttle, stay...
Oh, I always am there.
The car sounds like you live there.
Yeah, you get a weird audio, that's why you think I'm double braking.
Yeah, Michael, I just posted this question to the stream guys as well, so they see the same. Not sure whether it's really my audio that's fixed. I don't want to offend you like being a liar, but I don't have the telemetry. I would love to have telemetry to just prove that either you or me is wrong.
I have not lifted on turn 3 in 3 days. Turn 3, never left.
Do you brake with your right foot or with the left?
Left.
Alright guys, I'm a bit puzzled, I have to say. Because what I see is actually not what Shaun is talking or telling me. Oh, this is gonna get the new personal best then with the draft. Oh, that looked clean. Ah, close.
Oh, I gotta brake early if I'm gonna get that kind of draft, I guess.
Can you do me a favor? This lap is for trash already. So you go until you come towards the braking point for the bus stop chicane. And rather than braking and go through the bus stop, you hit the emergency brakes on the braking point, alright? And to go straight, yeah, and just go straight into the runoff. And don't focus on the braking point for the turn itself. Just when you are there, don't think about how hard to hit the brakes. Just slam it full until the car stops. Because now I want to see exactly that behavior that his brakes are making. So let's see. When he hits 228. Alright, stop it and go with me together on the replay tape. I want to get a confirmation on something I will see. There we go, box.
Oh, like that?
Yeah, that's okay. No, that's okay. And then you go current time 1 hour 21:20 on the tape. If you can hit. Are you there?
Oh, you want me to watch that? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, when you are there, I'm gonna do the following, and say you hit 230 kph in 1 hour 21:32. Then you hit 231 in 33 seconds, so 21 minutes 33. You hit 232 in still the same second.
Ah, shit. Hold on.
Okay.
Totally screwed up. Come on. Okay. 232. I see a one frame of 232. And that's at.
Do you have
timestamp?
Do you have one? If you go, there where the replay button is, there is the tools on the right hand side over where you change the cameras. And then there comes up the tape at the top.
Like when I hit Control F12? No. Tools.
Yeah, you are in the pits, and then where it says cockpit, that's the camera setting cockpit. And if you go up the row where display and fast forward and go to the
yes,
the tools,
I got it.
then
I'm sorry.
Then hit the tools. Okay.
Okay. I'm at 121.33.
Go at 121.30. And now here comes the task, and I will play this forwards for once, and so the crowd can see, and then I will ask you to play it and tell me what you see, and I tell you what to look for, okay?
Okay.
So this is for the crowd. We go. Have you heard that sound? That and then comes the brake. So Shaun, when you go and play, don't press play yet, but you're gonna hit the brakes at 1 hour 21:34 for the very first time, just a split second. And then you go back on the accelerator for just half a second or something, and then you hit the brakes really for the emergency brake. So go and watch this and tell me if you see the same what I see.
Uh-huh. I'm gonna play it frame by frame. I didn't see it. Hold on.
You need you need to listen to it.
I don't go by the sound. Okay, hold on. No. Nope. I see the gas come off 100%, and I see the brakes go on 100%.
That's weird. Because for me it would be like, and watch me a second here on the thing. This is the gas pedal. On the other hand is the brakes.
On mine, the brake comes on a moment before I'm off gas. So I'm going to give you my frame. So, well, it's inside of the time, but I'm at 121.33.
Can you share your screen for a second on Discord?
Yes.
And I'm sorry to you guys. This will shortly.
No, this is great. This is good stuff. I'm sure others have had the same. Others replay. I'm kind of fascinated that the certain things aren't as they say they would be, like the sounds and the gear shift points and things like that. So let me share my screen. Whoops. Whoop.
Because I'm really interested in how I see this.
Shoot, it's gonna do the entire screen.
Billy, are you sure that it's a spectator glitch? Okay, right. Then go back, and I will make this a full screen on my. Oh, this is tripled. For God's sake. Anyway, I can see the bar. So is it 1 hour 31 and 20 or 30?
There's 121.30.
Okay, let it go. Let it go. I can see it. Here is it. It's still full throttle. Wow, that's dumping. Alright, I believe you.
It might. Here's what I think might be happening.
Tell me.
I'm wondering if on your end, because I'm auto clutch, you guys are seeing some spike that it's doing when I downshift.
Not too sure, really.
I don't know, but I mean, this is what I'm doing right here.
Here's the gas, and then he slams on the brake and never releases it. So I'm convinced. However, it took quite some while. I'm sorry about that, but yeah, anything points proven.
Slow-mo.
Slow-mo, yeah. Looking at the slow-mo, still full throttle. There comes the brake. Alright. Alright, you're still being on throttle when hitting the brakes, but...
Yes, that is for sure. By the way, I'm going to play turn 3, too.
Yeah, please do so. That was the clutch there. Alright, I'm convinced there also, so I turn...
No problem. I'm glad we clarified, though.
Yeah, I'm totally turning away from the fact to listen to my brain. So if you want to get on your video again, that would be great. As I think for you guys, my camera should be fixed again. Yep. So Shaun, do you come back on camera there? So there you are, perfectly. I go back into the screen. So anyway, this is good. Looking at the point currently where we're sitting, we improved the lap times. So Shaun, you did a personal best doing a 203.6 in a fully upped fuel car. So that means we actually got the car faster by a good half a second just by setup changes. Speaking about those setup changes, what was the balance like?
Balance felt good. It actually might have felt like mid-corner. It might have felt like it was a little more settled on all four wheels. That might have been what made it felt like I wasn't, like it actually had a little more push off the corner. So when I was being gentle on the gas, it did want to get traction. When I jumped on the gas, it still wanted to slip the rear end. Might have had a hair more bite on entry, but I was also taking a later apex on 2 and 4. And 1, I was actually taking a wider line in 1 than I had been earlier, I think, and taking a better angle at the corner.
Yes, I noticed that too. You are braking too much on the inside for turn 1 there. So, I quickly go into the garage.
I think from years and years and years of doing this as an endurance race, I developed that inside line as like my safety line. You know, like I could do it in my sleep, but it's not the fastest line. So I need to push it outward. I guess the safety line is sort of my passing line too when I'm making the pass, and I need to get my braking done and make the pass stick. But I need to push it out wider.
Yep.
I need to relieve myself very quickly.
Okay.
Practicing for an endurance race, right?
Yeah. So, this was probably the perfect example for how not to do it in endurance racing. And this little break of him enables me to quickly get on the chat with you guys, as I'm sorry for this little inconvenience. And so you said check the sounds from chase view, so I'm gonna do that. I've changed something more to the setup. Let's see if he will say. So I go a little back on my end here. That is it. Chase view. Rear chase. No, it had the same glitch, but this time I saw the suspension just snap on the second thing. Is Shaun actually doing what I thought he was doing? I hope not.
Alright, I'm back.
That's good to know. What happened there? That felt like you had to throw up. Hope that wasn't the case though. Sorry, did you throw up?
No.
That just sounded like it though. You were hustling there in the back. Like
No. I'm all good.
So thank you very much, Seb Rocco, here for the hint about the full telemetry with a Z1 analyzer. Is that working? Something? If I put it on my screen, I can see him driving with his telemetry. Is it working like that from a spotter point of view? Because actually, then for proper testing and for proper spotting, that would be worth a try. I'm sorry guys, I got the chat on a different screen here. There you go. That makes me a little bit more comfortable. Right. Shaun, I just did some further changes on the setup, and I don't want to tell you what it is now. Just go out, tell me on the balance, and we will see. So yeah, with a setup change we now did, we made the roll of the white from the front towards the rear a little a little less soft, and I'm not sure whether this is really gonna work.
Phone is fucking with me.
I can hear you good.
Oh, it's the wire to my headphones. I have it on its charger and it's messing with me.
So speaking of messing, let me see. It could be that his front end is a little bit more understeery right now, and if that is the case, we need to work back on the setup changes. So I quickly note what I changed. So we changed the rebound stiffness to 30, which, in case he goes on the throttle, makes the way to move faster to the back. And this could make the rear end a little bit loosey. However, could also make the front end a little more understeery. So we need to see on the feedback there. Top speed is looking bad. Could be due to cold tires. Anyway, we leave him racing a little bit there. So the exit stability should be even more fixed right now. That looked good, but I think he's fighting the understeer.
Feels like he took the gas out of it.
More understeer?
Yeah, it turns in sharper and faster. It feels like its acceleration is somehow quicker.
So it feels better?
It feels lighter. Feels like he took 100 pounds off the car.
Which could be the case really, because now the weight
The
is...
lap time doesn't show it, but that's what it feels like. It just feels a little more nimble.
As I said, the stiffness is being reduced, so the weight is able to move more freely from front to back, just from front to back, not the other way around. Question from Chris Shelton: does the Mustang have traction control?
I don't think so.
So it actually has no traction control setting, I can tell you that.
Feels quicker. Getting off the corner faster.
So this makes some sense, because if the weight moves quickly to the back, that adds massive amounts of downforce to the rear end, which should increase the grip on the rear. And it's a bit more grippy in the back, isn't it?
Yes.
There you go. Exactly what I told you there. So you need to make use of that in that corner. So another question there, is the strategy in the race to take tires, or will they make it to the whole race? And we'll probably discuss that question later there, so RM, if you would like to hand in the question later on again when we do a little debrief after that session, we're gonna talk about it.
But is it a qualifying setup, Michi?
Nope.
Shit. Excuse my language, but I'm a little overwhelmed.
Really? Oh yeah. This is gonna be good. This is gonna be good. Is this a personal best with a 203.3? Well done, mate. Get in there. So all I did was I took another click off the front rebound stiffness. That makes the weight to move even faster from the front towards the back. So when you hit the accelerator, the weight coming back adds the downforce on the rear end, which should give you a grip boost. However, on the front end, when accelerating, the weight is the weight change is so minimal that you should not really feel a big loss of grip at the front end when being in acceleration, apart from the exit of turn 5 and maybe out of bus stop. But as it stands, it seems like it's improved a set.
Wow. Even on bad moments, it's getting off the corner so much stronger, it makes up for a mistake even. Big improvement, honestly.
Remember to shift early.
A little too early.
Oh, it's still good. You were waiting a little bit too long there on the exit of 2. So if you guys get weird with me moving my head and things around, I got 4 screens all over there. So I need to turn the head quite a bit to monitor all things there. What's the delta saying?
0.39 over.
So I'm quickly noting down what made us faster there. Stay on it, stay on it, stay on it. There you go. That was a good exit out of 2. Go in it. Ah, you missed that apex. Go on it, go on it. Ah, okay. Just wanted to see if this thing is to spin.
I jumped on it though. I think you startled me slightly.
Yeah,
No,
I know.
You over encouraged. That's a better wording.
Yep. So,
did you want me to go in, or did you want me to?
no, that's perfect because I've given you another change, and I just want to see whether this is making it even better for you there.
Can we increase the brake pressure at all?
No. What I did is move the brake bias a little bit more to the center. It was 73.5% at the front, and I put it a little bit more centered so the rear is decelerated a bit better. But not much, really. There's nothing really I can do about that. So I've changed the rebound stiffness again. And just go out again, please, and see whether this is another improvement, or this time if it is a deprovement, because I then got some other idea. We just do it 2 or 3 laps, because I think the fastest, the tire is fastest in the opening 2 laps.
Okay. Well.
But you're doing a great job. Your fastest car out there in the in the Mustang. You're even beating an ACR Suckspeed driver there. So Uwe Lenger, now being part of ACR Suckspeed there. Currently in P3, lapping in a 2 minutes 4.2. So Shaun is really busting balls on our guys here. So I'm sure guys there at ACR Suckspeed, you watch this, get on the speed, work on the set. Yeah. So you see what's been able there. First reaction on the balance?
Oh, I didn't even notice anything, so I guess that's good.
At least that's not bad if the last setting made you a lot faster.
Oh, cut. I gotta slow down for that one. I'm not gonna screw around and cross the start finish. It screws up the next lap, really.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. No worries. Just focus on the balance. Oh yeah, BR right VT 1000. I should really get Shaun a contract for getting into ACR.
Oh, alright.
To do you what there, Chris? Miata? What's that?
Over, bro.
Ah, there you go. Well, I could try helping a little bit. I have to be brutally honest that I'm learning about setting up cars and iRacing here myself right now. So I'm just make usage of knowledge I usually have. But it's nothing real special there, you know. So even with that slow approach in turn 1, you did a 203.4.
Am I overdoing the late approach on 2 and 4 now?
5 wasn't that bad. Let me recheck on 2 and 4. So I quickly gonna play back with the tape a bit.
I feel like I was starting to come in just really late on both of those. Like way too late at Apex, which I never got to even. Alright, I gotta get focused. Making small
Turn
mistakes.
4 was good. Turn 4 was close to being perfect. Could have been a bit better. We get up with the tape again. A little bit to the inside. That's a cut. Yeah, that was a cut. Anyway, I think we're going to see what the last lap would have been. And you probably have to quote it to me from your Delta Best, because on the lap timing the lap will vanish.
Right now I'm 0.63 over.
Over means red.
6'4". Yeah, red 6'4".
Okay.
6'5".
Yeah, I agree. Was it 203.7 though?
Here we go.
Racing Freak, like what? Like something ACR Suckspeed announced on their Facebook
Shaun.
page. A little bit too aggressive, but it was a good approach. So quickly go back to the box. This is just a try, and go out again.
Alright, 1 second. I'm checking one control.
Alright, so
Yep,
this
no
is
tip limiter on this car. I was pretty sure.
giving us a little break. I really actually have the time to spread some news today, being shown on the ACR website, not on the ACR website, in the ACR Facebook page. So if you're eager to find out, hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and then go to www.facebook.com/avidchronicracing, and there see the announcement of today's activity for Avid Chronic Racing. Though there was a big announcement that we were actually really proud, and that we are actually really happy to get a very, very good and highly experienced driver into the team. So if you want to go there, find out. So on this occasion I would like to welcome Jene Simoncic to be part of the team ACR Suckspeed for the future. So this is the big news there, and for all of you guys who went to the Facebook already, stay there, have a look at the article, get the read done, and stick with one ear to what happens here on the stream still, as I do think with that setting I just did, things are getting a bit worse for Shaun right now. Alright, make this count. So, Let's see whether he can get in a perfect lap there, right at the beginning. For the first time lap in, looking at the top speed. That costed us a little bit of top speed, the setting, I think. Let's see whether it gets us something in the balance as a reward though. Thank you very much there, Chris. I appreciate that. I'm really happy as being a co-owner of that team. We really got a real big asset there. So it's a great addition, definitely. We look forward to see him racing in one of the most competitive open wheel series among our Factor 2 there. And I'm gonna be curious about balance on this car. So how's the balance? How the hell did the cat
good.
come up there again? And it's hanging in that stupid fence already again. Bear with me. As that chicane was, I think it was okay. Yeah, bear with me, cat. I'm coming. There you go. I'm sorry about that inconvenience, but as I said, if I'm gonna let the cat sit outside, I'm gonna have a broken mosquito fence in the summer. I don't want to have that at all. So, let's look at the lap time. No improvement. Just very close. There you go, there's the cat. Oh, you wanna be stroke and a little bit fed, right?
Terrible.
So this is probably the last lap anyway. So the good thing about this cat is, unlike Max, it doesn't make too many noises, and in that format happily I can deal with her while being on a stream. Nevertheless, it's lying down on my notes, which is not too good. So let's see about the timing. As the session is about to be over in 15 seconds anyway. Oh, that's a cut, yeah. I think. Was that a cut?
It might have been a double cut.
I think it was one though.
Yeah, on the first turn, which I haven't cut yet. 0.54 in the red.
Yeah, I think the setting was a little bit too aggressive now. However, you were not far off your personal best there. But I felt that the top speed a little bit decreased, so I'm quickly gonna set that back. You were now running the soft ARB arm and I put it back to medium. Because I think it was giving you a hard time, really. It was getting some imbalance into the car just visually. So you turned in, the car turned good, and it stopped turning, and it some sort of swung itself up, if you know what I mean. That would it feel like watching. I mean, it didn't totally unsettle the car, but I think it made it a little bit more nervous mid corner, which then costed the time there.
Okay.
That was just from my personal point of view, but anyway, I think that's the end of the session. And this also means that you have improved your lap time by a good 7 or 8 tenths today.
Yeah, 2:03.3. I did not expect to be down in the 2:03.3 zone at all. So that's awesome. I just hope everybody who is watching this realizes the way not only were you changing it and making the approach, but the whole cause and effect and the whole point of it. It wasn't just clicking away with madness. It was, what's the car doing? How's the car reacting? What can we do to improve that? Did this small change make that improvement or not? Not just kind of randomly clicking and seeing what happens. The other thing is, it's awesome having you being here, critiquing me and holding me to a higher standard. It's something we all have within our own capabilities as well, you know, to watch our own replays or to be hypercritical of our driving, not in a sense of punishing and getting angry at yourself, but in terms of being aware of, are you making your apexes? Are you coming on the gas at the right time with the right amount of pressure? Which, you know, I think setup is a big portion of our gain, but the other portion is you making me very aware. It's like, well, you can come on the gas a lot earlier than that as long as you're not a gorilla about it. But if you stomp on it like a raging bull, it's going to loop regardless of when you bring it on. So I don't know. I think that's a whole thing, and you know, I want to thank you tremendously, Michi, because a good portion of this gains, and you know, right now I can be feasibly a full second to a second and a half faster than had we not been working together on this. Certainly a second. And, you know, I feel that, you know, a lot of it has just been in driving awareness, and a lot of it has also been the setup as well. So it's really been two-sided. And I'm feeling pretty darn good with days to go to get ready still. 2:03.3 with my optimal being right at 2:03 flat. About to actually see a 2:02.999 on my optimal. So I'm in heaven right now.
Oh, you have a 202 on your optimal, really? 202.999?
Yeah, right. No, I'll say at 2:03.047.
Okay, yeah, but yeah, I mean, you will find that last half tenth, I think. Yeah, honestly, the thing I have to say, first of all, massive thank you there, but you really have to know too that, I mean, we're just currently looking to your driving there a little bit from the camera view. This Ford Mustang looks so settled, and I know this car from being watched at Top Gear, at some other car shows or whatever. It's a pure muscle car with a lot of power still. And yet this car looks as settled as a DTM, as a GT3 car, despite the fact it has no traction control whatsoever. And even though the last setting was no perfect, neither for the car balance, neither for the lap time, you were just like 0.2 off. I think your personal best lap time was at 2:03.3, and you scored a 2:03.4 and a 2:03.5 with a slightly more aggressive and more bouncing and more wriggling setup. So, and despite all the other things, when you were racing and when you were driving, I could really see you mastering the car, and you were already in that area where you worked like a machinery. Because lap time wise, and I quickly want to bring this up, there you go, laps, the longest stint you had was in the middle there, but you did a 2:03.7, 2:03.6, 2:04.1, 2:04.1, 2:03.6. So apart from the both 4:01s, which have been consistent in their 24 range. You did, especially when it came to a 203.3, and we further changed on the set. You did a 203.7, 203.6, further changes on the set, 203.4, 203.7, and then there were the 203.4 and the 203.5. So you're actually in that position where you go out of the pit, do the warm-up lap, do the first time lap, do the second time lap, and do the third time lap, and they're all being within half a second on a 2.4 minute or 2 minute 4 second racetrack. So that is actually great consistency, really. And I think iRacing is really difficult, so I'm having hard times to do 20 or 15 laps within 1 second in the Porsche around Watkins Glen. But what Shaun is doing here with that Mustang is really staggering me, and that shows his performance and also shows his skill and his natural racing ability. I mean, he's just jumped in the car like 2 or 3 days back ago, did maybe 80, 90 or 100 laps overall, but yet he's on pace, he's very consistent, despite when I trigger him to go a little bit too aggressive. He does not spin out whatsoever. He goes wide sometimes, yeah, okay, we all do that. So there's nothing to worry about, and I think we're already like 85% towards a race setup. Just some minor changes, maybe get into the 202s, high 202s. I think that could be possible. Other than that, we're set up for racing. And all we basically need to do in the end is get things ready strategy-wise, and that's something we're going to do now in the debrief, more secretly behind the scenes. I want to bring this to an end there. So, Shaun, any further questions? Anything you'd like to mention there?
No, I'm kind of thinking about the event too, and part of why I'm feeling very positive about my driving effort right now is that I put in a lot of time, obviously, and not a lot, but a good portion of time. And I think about a race that's 2 hours, 24 minutes long, and you damn well better put in enough practice to be competent. Like, so one of my big goals, more than ever, was to somehow find a certain level of consistency, because I think that's just going to be so critical. And getting to that point where, like, I don't know, I just feel like in a lot of other applications of my racing efforts over the years that breaking zone points and turn-in points and apexes were just sort of like a suggestion, versus now I'm taking it seriously as a driver, not a racer. I mean, as a racer, not a driver. And I think that I could be accused over the years of being a racer. I'm sorry, I'm getting my word backward. I could be accused over the last few years of being a driver. And the goal here is that I want to be a racer. And the difference is whether you're doing it for fun or as a job. And I don't want to say it like that, but being a driver is a demanding task of yourself, because you're asking yourself to be hypercritical of, if you give me a math chart and say 1 + 1, I'm going to say 2 every time. Well, there's no reason why I shouldn't be able to hit my marks exactly at the same spot, hit my brakes the exact same pressure, turn it at the same, that is your job, just like 1 + 1 is 2 to a mathematician. And I'm, that was a goal for 2018. And this is awesome for me on a personal level, because I'm getting to push things to a different level at the beginning of the year on a year that I wanted to make exactly these kind of improvements. So I'm elated. I can go on and on and on and on about it, because it's so awesome right now. So that's about it. I guess the only other thing, I see one question in the chat, and I get asked this offline as well. Do we have a plan for which race we're targeting?
Yes, I do think so. I think we're heading for the third race, that is on the Saturday at 1700 GMT, which puts yourself in, is it 9 AM? So where you basically do your news show midweek, you're gonna have a race on Saturday there.
Perfect. So that's this Saturday at the same time as the Simpit would normally air, 9 AM Pacific time. What I'm going to have to do, you saw midstream, I had to go to the bathroom. So letting you guys, this is all about the whole thing, right? We're doing pit strategy, we're doing, timing, we're doing setup, the driving work, all that. okay, let's face it, it's a 2.4-hour race. I am a near middle-aged man. I mean, no, near isn't fair. I'm beyond middle-aged even. Who knows? 2 hours and a half at 9 a.m. is a tough call. If you said do 2.5 hours at 1 o'clock p.m., no problem. But 9 a.m. is when Shaun likes to go to the bathroom a lot, and that's because I drink a lot of coffee. So, in order to be ready for a 9 a.m. race, I literally almost have to trick my system, and this is the kind of thing I think real drivers have to deal with, or professional athletes, but I have to trick my schedule into thinking it's 1 p.m. at 9 a.m., if that makes any sense. Because I don't want to have to pull in for no reason because I'm going to die, I'm going to pee. But that is a valid concern at 2.5 hours. So anyway, that's just another thought, more than you guys need to know maybe. But a lot of people in last night's stream were giving me a hard time saying, are you going to wear Depends? Are you going to have an emergency cup? Are you going to have a catheter? What is the game plan?
So, yeah, that's going to be some interesting question. I actually can't fix with this. You currently go and see. So I put up a picture of the notes I was taking. You see in the red big paint, because that should really jump to my eye on race day, is that the perfect gap to go out of bus stop is 0.5 or 0.6 of a second. We just found that out right today, since it was a considerably easy path for Shaun to put his car on the inside there with a little bit of draft until the start-finish line, to then have an easy way around another car on the inside line into turn 1. So that was an important knowledge of today's testing session. What you can see furthermore, a little measurements from me. So half of a draft, full of a draft. That means actually half of a draft, he was more far away than 0.6 or 0.7 seconds. Full in the draft means he was even closer, so 0.3 or 0.4 of a second. And we had that yesterday, where he some sort of ended in the rear end of the car ahead just before the start-finish line, hitting 240 kph on the max. And I'm sorry for not having that imperial, but it's a German, so it's metric. Furthermore, you see all the changes I did. So 2 clicks, minus 2 clicks on the rear bump stiffness, minus 1 click on the front rebound stiffness. That put it to 45 back then. Then we worked around other stuff that get the balance right. Then we had a longer braking being reported by Shaun and a little understeer. So I did some further changes to the setup there. Took away a little bit the amount of torque that needs to be put on the ARBs. And that was the changes, so fixing the front ARB, and that put him in a very comfortable position. So he had the same speed approaching towards bus stop with an even softer suspension, which on a banked corner, that is not the best thing you have, because if you have a front soft suspension and you're banked in like 45 degrees, the force is gonna draft your car to not really to the ground, but somewhere else, and that might make you lose a little bit of grip and get a little bit more drag, but nevertheless we hit the same top speed. And then I found out about what happened with slamming the throttle, so I then fixed the weight moving around from the front to the rear. I noted all this stuff down, and the final 2 things were the really interesting ones. So we changed the rebound stiffness to plus 30 on the Glicks, and that improved the car by 0.3 seconds to a 2.33, and then we changed the rebound stiffness to 15, which made the car not really different in balance, and even did us not get a time improvement. So we went back on the 30 there to stick then with a 203.3, and I think on that bombshell, Shaun, you got anything to add there?
Not so much on the setup end, because I was just sort of being the guinea pig, or the suit here. But one thing that did strike me, and it wasn't until mid-stream today, so forget yesterday, forget last night's stream without you, mid-stream today, I finally understood. When you were saying get back on the gas, here's what was going on in my world. You were saying bring on the gas a little bit, and I was stomping on it. So your impression, or what you were saying, bring it on to like 50%. In my mind, I have to think bring it on to like 15 or 20%. And at that moment that I made that realization, and that was halfway through today's stream, and I was just like coming on to, like, sometimes if I feel like I'm going to lose the car, like it's got massive oversteer, I'll sometimes give a little blip of throttle to hopefully settle the rear end. And I just instinctively do it very quickly. And it was like doing that amount of blip instead of actually trying to bring on the gas. Because the minute my brain thinks about bringing on, I think I'm already at 70%. So the minute my foot starts to say gas pedal, like go, I'm at 70. And when I, in my calibration in my head, go to 15 to 20%, it's enough to start increasing the miles per hour from deceleration to acceleration without yet really demanding that the car change much. It's not changing the balance very much. It's not starting to spin or get the torque involved. It's just enough to kind of help the car start accelerating instead of decelerating, or longer. It's minimizing the coasting time between last moment of braking and moment of throttle pickup, whereas I used to have much longer gap between those two moments, I think. And it was, again, making that realization that it's a little bit, not a lot of throttle when you were saying bring it back on. So
yeah, it's very important to do this smoothly. I had to learn this myself in the Porsche, and I had to learn this myself in the Formula Renault, all on iRacing, and this is why it was so clear to my head there, because I had to do the same process you learned today midstream. I had to learn this like 2 or 3 weeks ago. So, despite me doing this since 12 years, and despite you doing this for 15 years or 10 years, or for years actually, you never stop learning.
Absolutely. So priceless though overall. I'm about to do some backflips because I honestly didn't expect to be running. I mean, I don't know what split I'll be in. I'm a 2600 iRating in the roadside. I don't think that's going to make top split, depending on the turnout. If there are very low numbers in the Mustang, I might slip into the top split. So it's a little scary because in the Mustang, if there isn't a big crowd, then the split, it's going to really stretch out from the, I could be racing against a guy with the 6,000 iRating, in other words. But I'm still feeling pretty darn strong. 2033 is pretty darn quick. It wasn't until yesterday that William Novella ended up into the 202 range. So it was like, all right, well, as of yesterday, this would have been one of the fastest times I've seen.
I remember
micro world.
Remember, you're still carrying 58 liters of fuel there.
Yeah, we haven't done it, and that's something all in the stream. Even it's like if you're doing something like this and it's this cutthroat on the leaderboard, if you haven't turned a qualifying or a low fuel lap, you might not even be able to compare yourself to the other times in the room, because if everyone else is like running some glorified qualifying trim just out of ego, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I think a lot of people will run their qualifying time in order to have a super duper world record looking lap time in a room, and because they feel good, it looks good. I like seeing the number 1 next to my name. I love seeing the number 1 next to my name when I'm running full fuel. That's what I'm saying.
And I think for most of the time today you did so. So getting this back there, result is you had the fastest lap time of that stint, of that
it was
heat.
All in all, I'm feeling great. I mean, I'm willing to do another, more work, stuff to figure out. I need to do, I did get my buttons mapped, so I will be able to do a full fuel run and then come in and fill up the tank and leave the old tires on to find out what my lap times are afterward. Also, I did do a full fuel run yesterday, so I should be able to, like, even with replay, figure out the amount of minutes that it was taken and how many laps. So I need to figure that out. But then between those two things, then all of a sudden our strategy can start to take a form. Someone asked earlier about running tires to the bitter end.
And I think at some point, hopefully on Friday still, we're gonna have some debrief and speaking about strategy. And this is probably gonna be a very different stream, so not sure whether we're streaming this yet. We're gonna have to talk about that surely in the background, but there will be a race debrief going on before the race that will take us probably around half an hour or 45 minutes to A, calculate, B, agree on some things, C, talk about specific things like is it more clever to change the tires every pit stop, or whether it's more clever to do a double stint on a set of tires. However, I do think they lose quite a bit of speed during the stint, so we need to work around that. That's for sure. And yeah, this probably won't be really a stream of driving if we do a stream out of it, rather than how to prepare for a race. And this is where I would like to point at a certain direction as well, since Averconic Racing is currently working on his setup guide, and this was recently being presented 2 years ago by Shaun Cole here on the Simpit as well. This guide is now being rewritten, even more improved, being more generalized, and there is a section in it, it's chapter 4, that's all about race strategy. That's how to prepare for a race strategy wise, because even though it's a 2.4 hour race and you might only do like 3 maybe 4 pit stops, it can be real crucial when to do these. So building a race strategy, agree on the race strategy, have some kind of schedule like on your head or beside your screen, like okay, we are right there and we're gonna box in the next 5 minutes, can be a race winning or a race deciding factor. So this knowledge is shared in that setup guide, which is going to be republished at some point of the year. We basically need to see when we're able to finalize that. But there's definitely something Shaun Cole will be interested about, you guys will be interested about, and I think the sim racing world in general will also be interested in that ACR driving guide there. Which is not only about setting up, but also about driver awareness, but I don't want to go too deep into it right now. Thank you there, Chavette, for the good luck wishes. Probably I need to hand them over to Shaun, since I'm only sitting here, and if it goes wrong I can't do anything about it, rather than turn off the screen and don't look at the tragedy. Anyway, I think we're really done right now, since your magic mark of 60 minutes is broken so badly you're gonna kill me.
You know, I looked at, I thought that as I was third or fourth of 5 or 6 sessions, but then I also thought, well, what am I doing? I'm also preparing for an endurance race, so get ready to buckle up and sit there in that chair and you think you're hot? Yeah, you're only halfway there, or a quarter way there. So I looked at that as sort of like going into the bonus time to just sort of push and practice for what I'm doing. So that's cool. No, I'm happy. I'm super happy. Backflip time.
So that's great stuff here, and yeah, with that being said, we watch Shaun for the final time doing some racing here still on that iRacing screen. So anyway guys, thank you very much for watching, thank you for your support. Shaun is definitely being delighted for having you guys here on the chat, on the stream. It was a big pleasure for me as well today. So Shaun, you got anything to add there?
Nah, just thank you for being here. Subscribe, like us, share the videos. If you think you learned something, show this video to a friend. Maybe they'll learn something on setup or driving or how to be critical of their driving. So that's it. Share, like us, thumbs up, all that good stuff. That's all.
Yeah, I only can agree to that. If you want to just not like and just do more than just like and share and subscribe, look into the description. There's the Patreon webpage. Give us a visit if you like what you see there. Want to have a look into the backstage area and get a real addition to the show, then go on and do so. We definitely appreciate it, and we looking forward to welcome you in the backstage area of the Simpit Discord, and yeah, hope to see some of you guys there soon. Anyway, guys, that's it from us. So this is Shaun Cole, I'm Michi Hoyer, and this is the Simpit, and we see you guys on the track.